polling. So Eric, would you please call roll?
Bob Geisler.
Here.
Michelle Camp.
Here.
Bill England.
Here.
Robert Toll.
Here.
Tom Trina.
Here.
John Mao.
Here.
Ann Irvin.
Not here.
And the meeting was properly noticed.
Thank you, Eric. Well, let's start the open forum. Do we have any residents signed up tonight to speak?
He doesn't know.
He's got a year older and he don't know what's going on there.
Enough of us here to speak.
For those of you that aren't here with us tonight, you're either sheltered in place because we just got 4 to 6 inches of rain, a whole bunch of lightning, and it seemed to calm down a little bit right here at the moment. But looking out at our swimming pool, it got filled to the top edge. So we got 4 to 6 inches here.
Vicky.
Vicki Franzen, 4612 Blackberry Drive. What's going on with the boutique? Is it closed or is it open?
It's closed, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
Well, that's it.
There's always one.
Do we have a motion to either read or waive the reading of last month's minutes?
I move that we waive the reading.
I'll second that.
Do we have a second? Do we have any discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Sounds unanimous. So we have a few things going on here. As you all know, we'll cover those in detail in a little bit, but I'd just like to talk about one thing that was kind of brought to my attention, and divisive behavior. And that's not what we're here for in the community. We're here to get along with one another. Everybody has different opinions. And as you know, that if you have a TV, you know that the media does a pretty good job of stoking the division. And that's right, I'm talking about licorice. You've all seen the commercials. Country seems to be a little divided on licorice, and I just think we need to get along a little bit better, and everybody in this community be a little happier.
Red licorice all the way.
Eric, do you have a manager's report?
Yeah, I think, is anybody confused with that? I don't know, what do you mean licorice? Two sides of the coin.
Eric is 38. He doesn't watch commercials on TV, so he's just a little unaware of what us senior folks might be seeing on TV.
What I would say is, on that topic, I think what Bob is saying is, I use politics, religion, and like serious sports rivalries, Red Sox, Yankees type of thing. Better not talk about it at the pool, leave that for at home, because that's what people tend to get into arguments. So those three topics, I just throw sports rivalries. So on the insurance claim, we renewed the policy. We're trying to get in touch with Michael Heichel, who's our insurance adjuster with Heritage. He's, for whatever reason, they're delaying their response to us. We don't know why yet, so we'll find out. The Habitat Tice development project, we have made contact with the broker who's selling the property. They're planning on building a luxury high-end rental townhome community there. And they recognize the easement. There's an opportunity for us to make something happen there, but we've got to kind of play it cool, do it in a business-like way, try to not talk about it too much, and let it work out. But I think it will work out the way we want it to. insurance renewal will be coming up in the agenda. Doing some banking, we found some pretty attractive CD rates out there right now, and we're gonna be moving some money around so we can earn some interest on the money that the association does have. Violations of the common elements. We've got about 10 people who have started to put things back outside their house. The little potted plants or garden gnomes and those types of things. Not only is it against the rules, but this time of the year, as we just saw, a storm can come through and start throwing stuff all over the place. So please bring that stuff in. What I'm gonna do is say it now and go through the weekend, and starting on Monday, we're either gonna bring it in for you, or we're gonna send you a letter telling you to bring it in, that you're not gonna probably like that letter. So let's give you the weekend to bring everything in, okay? I want to talk again about non-approved tenants or people living with you, non-approved guests. We have a system, it's called a long-term guest registration. Someone's going to be staying with you for a period of time longer than a month over the course of a year. We call that a long-term guest. And it's when we do the criminal background check. It always happens in a community like this, you know, son and daughter get divorced and son goes back and lives with mom and dad for a little while. That's a common thing to happen, but we do have rules regarding that. If you have certain things in your background or your character, then you're not gonna probably be, this is not the place for you. And if people try to circumvent that, there's gonna be consequences, and we're gonna pursue it the full way. So be aware of that, and just don't break the rules. We try to make them rules that are reasonable enough that everybody can follow them and live a nice time. On light poles, I know Big John's been asking me about those every day, but we're still another month or two away. They said August or September. It's almost August, so that's all I can say. TAMCO warranty on those shingles. I was able to get an approval and some certificates for getting the TAMCO shingles cleaned, but I still want to negotiate with them on that a little bit. It seems like less than what it should be, and there may be other problems that they need to look at. Getting quotes on a reserve study, which is also going to include the milestone structural integrity reserve studies, which you may have seen a little bit on the news. It's the law that's related to the Surfside condo building collapsing. And it only applies to buildings 3 stories and higher. So 7 of our buildings qualify as 3 stories or higher. If they would have said over 3 stories, we would have not 0 buildings, but lucky for us, they did it the other way. So we're getting quotes on that. Fencing around the pool needs some work. The metal fencing is rotting. Dumpster enclosures has been on our list. We're able to knock out the bicycle parking areas, which I thought turned out very good. Bob, thank you for setting that up and coordinating that. We're going to be converting the lights in the hallways of the buildings to LED light bulbs. And as they burn out, we'll change them, and then hopefully that'll give a better light and take less power. Bill and I started to look at the budget. I'm sure Bill will talk about that a little bit more. We've got some asphalt repairs, working on the roofing bids and schedules and things like that, and trying to figure out financing of that stuff. That's basically what I have to report on to you guys for tonight.
Thanks, Eric. And yeah, I have had a handful of comments that the bike parking does look better, and it's definitely organized now. So I hope that works out for everybody. I did notice that somebody parked a bike next to the dumpster at Green Cypress and Blackberry. Not sure if they were in there browsing around in the dumpster and they just parked their bike there, or if it was donated, or what the case might be. But if you got a rusty bike laying around, we can dispose of that for you. Just let Bruce know it needs to be out of there. The residents that live adjacent to the new bike parking area, I noticed there's a couple bikes in there that are kind of frozen up with rust. If those been sitting there kind of abandoned for a while, please let Eric know so we can get the eyesores out of there.
Well, one last thing. I sent an email out a couple weeks ago about the cane toads that have been out, the very venomous, dangerous cane toads. No, it's, what they can do to a dog is really unbelievable. We love our little dogs here, so there is a group of people that have been going out and thinning out the population, and it seems to be working. I know they're in the triple digits. So if you do see somebody outside at night with a flashlight, or it's more likely than not our toad patrol out there trying to save the dogs. But still, be aware, it could be anything, but more likely than not. And hopefully soon they won't have to do that anymore.
Yes, don't be alarmed. That's Kathy Fox riding around on her bike with her miner's cap. And I don't know if she's got a spear gun or something, but the count's up to probably close to 120 frogs.
159.
We have mixed numbers coming in now. 130,
She drives golf cart.
150. They're up there. So
Hang on a second, wait, we just got another one.
they all are confirmed kills. There might have been a little misidentifications going on there, but they're all classified as frogs. Toads, frogs, doesn't much matter.
Yeah, I got corrected on that too.
Politically incorrect again. Okay. Moving on here. Bill England, do you have a treasurer's report for us?
Yeah.
Too bad they're not having other words.
Yeah. I have good news and bad news. The good news is we have cupcakes. And that's it. Okay. The Treasury remains stable. However, there's a lot of work ahead of us that we have to do. I have been concerned about the insurance premiums and how this will increase all of our bottom lines. Let me tell you, I'm not happy about the increase. And I made sure to let our agent know, and she didn't like it either. So Eric and I ran some preliminary numbers on the operating budget, and the fees are going to have to increase more than any of us would like. It's disappointing because I have served on the board as vice president and now treasurer, and know how hard we work to do everything the right way to keep our insurance premiums, which we have no control over, to impact our budget so greatly. I have never heard of an insurance premium going up 87% and think that they should give us some consideration on how minimal the damage here in Pine Ridge has been over the last two major storms relative to the surrounding communities and areas. In addition to this, we are contractually obligated to a 4% increase with Comcast in '24, which will bring it up to a little over, right around $240,000 a year. We're going to need to be smart with our money as we navigate this road ahead and the economy settles down. In particular, our large projects that are not required. The board really has to consider needs versus wants when it comes to the expenditures from the operating budget. The reserve budget should be able to proceed as scheduled, other than some inflationary impact. They are fully funded the way we stand now. We are currently getting quotes to have an updated reserve study done, which that is a requirement that we have to do because it's in that time frame. Pine Ridge is a great community, and it must stay that way. I want the whole community and all the directors to know that we cannot cut corners or take shortcuts. I believe that we need to be smart, but must also continue what has made the community successful despite any increased cost. Balance sheets and income statements are available, and I think there's some that was laid out back there. And if you have any other questions about the budget, contact Eric or myself with these questions. And also, as soon as we get the people in here for the reserve study, we're going to have an additional meetings with the budget committee. It's just, we're having to wait because we could have 3 or 4 meetings, but if we really don't know at this point how it's going to be until we get this reserve study done. So I wish I could give you better news, but it looks like we're going to be 20% or more increase right now. I mean, we're like 17.5% on just 3 things. So time you figure in all the other little things we have to do, it's going to be closer to 20%, maybe a little more. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that was my bad news.
Well, one of the things that is kind of troubling to me, I go to a lot of continuing education, and the law in Florida for condos, where if the board wanted to raise, or the board was to raise a condo fee over 15%, that the community members could sign up and protest that increase. Now, the board would still be able to approve it and it would go through, but at least they would have a voice in the matter. Because of the rising insurance premiums that all condominium associations in the state are experiencing, they changed that law to the people can protest the budget if it exceeds 15% of the prior year's budget minus their insurance premium.
Of course.
I mean, I couldn't believe it when I heard it, honestly. I mean, the fact that is really, to subtract your insurance premium, and you can't increase anything else up and down, but that can go up 87% right now. So it's very troubling, you know, like, I think I saw smiles and laugh when I said it, because it doesn't make any sense, but that's the way they're doing it.
Just please don't shoot the messenger.
When was the last reserve study done? How long ago?
About 10 years ago. Well, we update the costs, but the full study every 10 years. Right. And then every year you update like how much each thing costs at the end.
At the end, okay. I know.
Well, everybody's excited about that news.
Maybe we should have left that to last.
Yeah, you know, we've all known it's coming, and it's gives everybody the same feeling like you can't do anything to fight it. You can't not have insurance. So we can hope and pray something changes and see what happens next year, as they say. But that's a drastic increase. So we'll move on to some committee reports. Bob, I believe you don't really have a update on landscaping, but we've done a lot of tree trimming out there, and the crews are still there. There's been, I believe, some flower planting and some other things going on. So continuing to make improvements there around the landscape and get rid of some of these trees that are dead and in danger of breaking loose in the wind. Tom, do you have a report for us or an update on anything?
Yeah, as far as the website's concerned, we keep adding features on there. Some of them are kind of obscure, and unless you're looking for it, you don't notice, but we've really put an all-out effort on getting people signed up so they appear in the directory, and that's been paying off. We quit having the weekly meetings or bi-weekly or 2-a-week meetings. We were down to 1 or 2 people. So we've been working on individuals, just either by phone or email or approaching people individually. And since last board meeting, I think we had about 114 people on the directory. And as of today, we were at 152. So we're making progress, and eventually we'll have everybody on that directory.
And one thing I'll say is, everybody change over to that directory, unless it's an emergency that absolutely needs to get to everybody. I am going to stop sending the bulletins on the old one and focus only on the new one. So if you want to get the emails and you want to get the news of things that are happening in the community and the communication, you're going to want to be on that new website. Obviously, if a hurricane was coming or an emergency, we would try to get to everybody because there are 432 on the old one, but the new one, so much better too. I don't know why you would want the old one once you see the new one. So please, everybody switch over.
Thank you. That's it.
John, do you have an update for us?
Okay, I hope you're all sitting down at home. Safety and lighting is my committee. My first concern is speeding. Again, get the plate. You don't have to follow the guy, get the plate. Gate runners, do not approach the gate runners. Don't tell them to their residents. Get their plate number as they go by, call us. Come down to the office, fill out a report. Now I'm really a little more concerned. Be aware of our status as a 55 and older gated community. During this time of high inflation and crime rate is spiking, I'm very concerned about our community and our residents. We are concerned about crimes against our seniors who live amongst us. Please be advised that there are con artists who are not residents who live amongst us. They will play on your emotions to win your confidence. Eventually, they will ghost you and move on to their next victim. Please remember, we have 462 units in our community. If everyone got caught up in taking in one of these stray con artists, our beloved Pine Ridge will be ruined. We have policies and procedures, rules and regulations that try to protect our community. But the con artists don't care about any of us. They're just here for themselves and their ultimate plan to keep stealing from our community activities, amenities, and our residents. Please do, if you're having somebody live with you, you need to report it, just like Eric said. If you have a vehicle in here that's not registered in our database, we're towing it. We're not going to play around anymore. There's a con artist born every day, and there's somebody that can be conned every day. The older we get, the sillier we get. Do not trust any of them. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And safety and lighting. And John's not the sheriff. He's trying to keep everybody aware and safe. We want to protect our residents. Look out for your elderly neighbor that might be a shut-in. It's kind of be neighborly on that point of it. A little bit on architectural review. I've had a surprising amount of requests for architectural review, mainly on windows. Windows, storm windows, hurricane windows, whatever you want to call them. And then we have the storm shutters. Storm shutters were invented before the hurricane windows came along. If you're considering trying to make your property safer, more livable, more economical, do yourself a huge favor and look at windows if you haven't replaced your windows. Putting hurricane shutters on these old windows isn't really going to benefit you for the cost that you're going to be spending on the hurricane windows if your window exists. I'm sorry, shutters. The money on those shutters, they're expensive. Electric operated to make it easier for seniors, that's a benefit. But it's quite a bit of cost. If you have not replaced your windows, I would advise you not to put shutters on your house until you really replace your windows. Windows only have a life expectancy here in Florida. If you Google it, it's 15, 25 years, depending on location and everything. These windows that were put in the units that are single pane, there's no insulating value. There's no value to noise reduction. Talk to somebody that has had their windows replaced and the benefits that they're enjoying. That's about all I have to say on that. But
Well,
I'm just looking out for your best interest. Don't throw your money away.
it's just
Look at your considerations.
the value proposition. If the lifespan of a window is 30 years, and you've got 30-year-old windows, to buy shutters to go on top of those old windows, you're gonna have to buy and replace anyway soon. You might as well just knock it both out. It's also gonna help with your power bill. It's also gonna help with your insurance. It's also gonna help if you live on the 3rd floor, and you can't go up there and put shutters on, so.
Yes, and if you recall, a few months ago, we had the situation where the shutters were down. We had a heavy rain, similar to what we had today. The drains weren't properly cleaned in the shutter system. It backfilled with water. The water ran right through the old windows and down into the ceiling of the neighbor below. So there's a reason why we bring all these things
On these
up.
hot days too, believe me.
So moving on, we have some old business. We talked about the insurance. Everybody knows what a sour pill that is. The association has renewed its property insurance policy with Heritage Insurance. The total cost of this policy will be $705,000 after all fees and finance charges. We will be paying a little over $64,000 per month for the next 11 months. And we get to do it all over again. So we're praying for no storms, no additional cost on the insurance companies, because they're gonna pass it on, just like they did this time.
Just a quick question, just out of curiosity, and this is gonna just really show my stupidity, but, it is this high,
There's people at home.
sorry, the rate is this high because of the storms? Or is this gonna be like gas? You know, gas went up and it never came back down again.
Well, in my experience, and before Hurricane Ian, the way that they were explaining it is that the market comes in waves, and it'll be a hard market and it'll be a soft market. And I've seen it over the course of 11 years. When I first started working here, it was a tough market, and there weren't very many companies, and we were paying like what we were paying last year, 10 years ago. Then it went down by like a significant amount, and that was a soft market. Those were the good times. We should have enjoyed them, I guess. Thought they were gonna last forever. And now we're back into that hard market. So now they've got Ian as a convenient excuse. So it may be cyclical, I'm saying that right? But it also could be related to the storm too. The main thing that I think it is lack of competition. There's only 1 or 2 companies that are admitted in Florida, admitted by the state, which means if they go belly up, the state will pick up the rest. All the other ones are like overseas type of companies that are double and triple even what we're paying. So it's just a bad situation. They need more companies in the state of Florida so that way you can have some leverage. Like if there was no alternative to Comcast, then we wouldn't be able to talk about switching because there would be no alternative. And that's where the insurance is. So it's rough. It's rough, and it's almost like they just pick a number out of a hat because where does that come from? But we're insuring $77 million worth of property, and then they try to reduce the risk, throw risk back at you, and give you very little discount. It's not wrong.
Don't you get the discount from the local?
So we still have not received any written or verbal answer from Heritage regarding the open claim. We'll keep everybody advised of the outcome once that situation changes and we get some information in. You think we paid our bill, they give us a little bit back. So I have an update on the unit that we acquired, thanks to Eric at 9540 Windsor Club Circle. We stated last month, the association had acquired that property and we actually prevented it from going to auction at court steps. I want to review this acquisition and where we stand at this point. Don't want any rumors going on. We're not keeping any secrets. The board is renovating the unit and it will be selling for the maximum value when we get it on the market. We currently have about $30,000 invested in the renovation and materials. We'll probably spend another $10,000-12,000. I think we'll be a little bit under what we originally predicted. Not drastically under, but a little bit under. When completed, I believe we will have turned one of our worst condition units into one of our best units. I know that some of you have done an amazing job fixing yours up, and yours is the beautiful place, but this is going to be a very nice place when it's done. Our total cost on this unit, we'll disclose that information at a later date. If you have any questions, please come up to Eric. We just don't want to broadcast that. We're going to be selling it. So, used car guy's not going to tell you what his cost is and then try to sell it to you, right? I anticipate this being on the market maybe the end of September, October, right around in that time frame. We're moving along. We're going to have it painted pretty soon. Some volunteers coming down to do a little bit of painting there. As I stated before, we had some people come in and remove some trash, and we had some volunteers come in. My wife has done an amazing job, a lot of footwork, beating up different vendors, going to source out the materials, cabinets, flooring. So she did spend an enormous amount of time. None of the volunteers are profiting off of this. The only people that are profiting off of this are the residents of Pine Ridge. And that's why we're doing it. We're trying to sell this for as much as we possibly can. Like I stated, it's going to be a very nice unit. I think anybody would be very proud to own it.
And like Bill stated, we need the money, so we're going to sell it for a lot.
So we're moving along. like I said, if you have any questions, come and see Eric, myself, or any one of the board members. We don't have anything to hide in this venture. We have a little bit of new business. Oh, I would like to give another shout out to Kathy Fox and her dedicated team, hunting those frogs down. They're running out of their frogs. And when we run out of those, maybe we'll step her game up. I think we still have that little baby alligator out here. So, again, thanks, Kathy. So we have some new business that John would like to discuss, our volleyball activities.
So during the off-season, when there's nobody here, there's probably 12 to 15 people in the pool. Everybody's normally going home by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we'd like to put in an hour and a half from 4 to 5:30 on Saturday afternoons and Sunday afternoons to give the residents that live here full-time a chance to come down and play some more volleyball. It keeps everybody here active, and the pool's not being used, so there's no reason why we shouldn't use it. Please take under consideration that we probably get 10 to 12 people every afternoon, especially on weekends when some of the grandkids fly in. So it's a good time, and again, it keeps us out of the bars.
And yes,
Did you buzz me?
I can testify to that. The volleyballers are a very welcoming group, and anybody is welcome to play. The requirements are that you have to hit it over the net and keep it in pounds.
That's it?
So, John, do you have some kind of motion regarding the time schedule?
I'd like to vote on that motion from 4 to 5:30 on Saturdays and Sundays for additional volleyball time at the pool during the off-season. I'd like to make the motion.
I will second the motion.
I have some questions.
Any discussion?
Yeah. What are the hours now, John?
None.
No, I mean during the week. I was kidding. Is it 4 to 5:30 every day?
4 to 5:30.
Yes, 4 to 5:30 during the off-season.
Afternoon, but morning.
And then during in-season, it's 4 to 5:30, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do you want to write this down?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
So you don't play as often?
I usually get.
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of other amenities going on. You got cornhole, you got, shuffleboard and all that. Most of us are tired by then.
And you still do a morning?
Yeah, I believe they still do a morning.
Question,
Sir,
when would it stop?
when do you want it to stop?
Oh, that's up to you. I didn't know. I mean, someone's gonna ask that question, is when it's gonna be over with.
When the new in-season starts.
Yeah,
When does that start?
I don't have the date.
I don't know.
We have it on
January
the board.
15th,
It's on-
January 1st?
It's on the board.
Oh, okay.
There is an established day, I just don't want to misspeak.
Oh, so this will come on.
Because in-season, yes.
Yeah.
It's only an
Summer
off-season
hours
program.
and winter. In the winter, there's people out there in the afternoon using the pool, but in the summer, if there's no volleyball, there's no.
So we have a motion, we have a second. Can we get a final
All in
vote?
favor?
Aye.
Don't count. Any opposed?
I don't get, no, you're just sitting here.
Motion passes. We'll have volleyball Monday through Saturdays.
Sunday.
Sunday, 7 days a week. if you have your grandkids down here and, their heads above water, come on down.
If they're acting nuts, do it this
It's
evening.
on the weekend, you like it.
Cool.
I'm out of focus.
Before we adjourn tonight's meeting, do we have any questions from the members regarding topics discussed tonight? Joan?
Joan Fricker, 9532 Windsor Club. Because, I know we're waiting on light poles, do we have to wait to fix the lights that's out?
Yes.
We do?
They have to-
They're not actually out, they're kind of dimmed down to that.
They're, I mean, it's black and straight out, you know, like.
I was down there, drove down your street. The three lights on your portion of the street are not fully lit like they should be. It's like they've been dimmed down.
Well, it's like when they're working, it's like daylight out
It's like
there.
a night light in your bathroom.
When it first was put up, remember how light lit it was?
Yeah, I mean, it was like daylight. It's wonderful. And
All
you
three
know,
of them are
my
dimmer now?
concern, and I know what you're waiting on, is, you know, I have several ladies coming in, play cards throughout the week, and it's dangerous. It just really is.
We've had a couple falls.
Yeah.
I wondered if all three of them were dim.
Yeah, that whole street is,
No,
yeah,
no.
that whole street is
We're-
totally black.
Down high end.
Yeah, we're working on that and we're gonna get them out here. They'll have the truck to get up there, so, they'll be doing all those repairs at one time.
You need to get candles out on your property, I guess.
I would like to, before Jolie comes up, back up to the Treasure Palace, as it's lovingly known. And we've had some discussion, we've had announcements, we roped it off, we closed it. But there's a lot of signage in this community, and you kind of look around, we have signs that are up right now at the dumpsters that indicate that you should put your big stuff over, you know, at the Treasure Palace there. I've asked for suggestions for that. We feel that it's been abused. We've shut it down. We have little trinkets that are tossed in there because I'm not sure why, because I know they fit in the dumpster. So it's not a donate pile, and it's, you know, not annexed to the Goodwill. And it's starting to cost us quite a bit of money to clean that mess up. It's become an eyesore. I've asked for recommendations, any suggestions on what to do to change that. And the cardboard dumpster that takes up a lot of space, and really haven't had any feedback, to my knowledge, from the residents. So we know that's an issue, and we're gonna have to correct that one way or another. And if that's totally removing the Treasure Palace situation that somehow was granted into the community as a perk, that perk is starting to cost quite a bit of money. We no longer get the gift of having it removed for free. If you pay and buy a new refrigerator, you need to get it disposed of one way or another, and the other way isn't putting it alongside the dumpster and trying to hide it behind one of the dumpsters like it's magically gonna evaporate, or, you know, one of these 95-year-olds is gonna come out and hoist it into the dumpster back of his car and haul it away. So we need a solution, and we will come up with a solution, and probably gonna be people that don't like that solution.
One thing I'll say is, being that it's right across from our clubhouse, and we're in a bit of a limbo period because of the hurricane, and we want to do the dumpsters correctly, they're gonna owe us hopefully money towards that. It has no gates on it. And that was the way it was with trash piling out into the streets. If you're a buyer, if you have a guest or a family member come and visit, that's not what you've been bragging about and telling them you gotta come down and visit for it. You know, we want the place to look good. And another thing that I'll say, it does happen, you wouldn't believe it. You know, whatever it costs them, $29, take your old refrigerator away. I'll get a call at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Can Bruce come on the 3rd floor and help me carry my refrigerator down because they didn't want to pay the money? You know, that's not what that's for, really. An old mattress, an old refrigerator, when you get the new one, they take the old one away. That's the way that goes.
We just had 4 inches of rain. If there was a king-size mattress out there that got rained on, and I don't know, what's that gonna weigh? 800 pounds?
Bob, I would like to make a motion, instead of us talking this over and beating it to death like we've been for the last several months, make a motion to just close everything off. New signage on all the dumpsters that say nothing is put in there. Can we make that smaller, the one across from the clubhouse, so there's no room for that? And just say, it's over, it's done.
Yes.
Yeah, those are the kind of things that we could do.
Yeah. I mean, our hope was to get it back to the way that it was when we get the pickups.
But we also don't want to we don't want a situation where we get rid of that and then every week there's a mattress or stove adjacent to one of the dumpsters.
Well, I understand that, and I wouldn't want to see that either. I mean, I live on Sailview, and, you know, I see crap always put on the inside. But I think the only way to get people to stop putting stuff where they're not supposed to put it is to stop providing a place for them to put it. And if we've got, you know, people have to get fined. If you see something, you're gonna fine them. I mean, how much longer are we gonna talk about this and hope people stop putting things where they're not supposed to? I'm making the motion. You all can do what you want, but I make a motion. We just caught.
I'll second that motion.
Point.
Do I have any discussion about this anymore? We've kind of discussed it on the board side.
It is kind of misleading the way this one is out here on the treasure palace, because it says closed, but then you have the other sign
The big
there
metal
that
sign.
says household items only, so you don't know what to do. I've had people ask me, am I supposed to put anything in there? And I said, if it can go in the dumpster, yes. If not, it's not supposed to be there.
And that's always been a problem, people putting little things, I guess maybe they think someone else might want it
Yeah.
on that side, but really put it in the dumpster, that's the best way.
And when the stuff goes out for the quarterly stuff, that can be one of the little notices that we send out. Please be advised that anything you're getting rid of, don't put it outside a dumpster. Nobody's gonna come around and do their shopping for your junk. We're done with that. Go to Goodwill if you want secondhand stuff.
And,
Or donate it to Goodwill, instead of
Yeah.
putting it down there, bring it over to Goodwill.
The veterans take a lot of stuff too.
Motion's been made and seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We're getting rid of the treasure palace.
And new signage for the.
New signage, we'll
The other
take
dumpster.
the old signs down.
So how are we gonna handle the crap that gets put in all the other dumpsters? Like right now, there's a mattress over on Sailview that's been there for a couple
How are we
months.
gonna make up the
Probably
revenue?
weighs 800 pounds. So same thing, if they put something in there, we see them, we're gonna find them.
Well, I think it starts with at least a letter going to them to say, you have to get it moved. It's not the job of the community to do that. And it's not fair to Bruce to have to try and lug a rain-soaked mattress or anything. It really is up to the person who put it there. So if we know who did it, they need to be notified that it's their
Trying
responsibility.
to catch the people sometimes.
Right.
Yeah,
Sometimes we catch them, I mean, we do a couple times.
I would agree with that, so. We'll make the community aware that nothing gets abandoned outside of the dumpsters, everything goes in the dumpsters, and,
Yeah, if you can't fit it inside the dumpster, it's your responsibility to get
give
rid
that
of
a
it.
shot.
Abuse it,
And there you have it.
Okay, I believe we have two more questions. We can knock those out real quick.
Jolene Porter, 9610 Green Cypress. Okay, number one, when I got a bed, had a mattress, box spring, everything to get rid of. The companies don't take them anymore, so it's our responsibility to get rid of them, just so you know. And I paid Charlie twice to take the mattress, the box spring, and I paid him to take a stove and a dishwasher to haul it away. Take it to the wherever it is. The junkyard, the train, whatever.
Treasure
Okay,
palace.
so, no, not the treasure palace. So I have a suggestion about that. We need more space. We're trying to make space in the back because we're gonna, with activities are getting larger. Could that dumpster back there go over next to this one? Even if you have to move the dumpster over and put the other one there, or reconfigure or something.
I was thinking over by the dog park.
Okay, there too. I mean, but if
No
that one
way.
could move, that would give us a little extra room over
Sorry.
here.
Where did you get your mattress that they don't offer to take away?
The company wouldn't take it away. I had to have Charlie take it.
Yeah, you bought it from a store?
Yeah, the store. I bought it at Price Cutters.
Okay.
They won't take it away. They won't take anything.
Yeah, you'd think-
The other question I have, you bought a villa, lovely, you saved the person, saved it going into whatever. We have a condo that has at least been in probate for 4 years on second floor over here on the lake. Nobody's been in it. So in those 4 years, I guarantee there's no air conditioner on. What is the condition? Is there mold? I mean, you've got condos below it. If it were me, I would be like a lunatic if I know it's been empty this
You're
long.
talking about Toby's we're working.
Yeah.
on. There's another one on Sailview that is, the bank has the steamer room and they have property preservation. But Toby's, yeah, we're looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been empty for 4 years, and it's been sitting there. How long has the air conditioner not been working? Our battery in the thing only works for a year or so, and then it's, so I mean, what's it look like? I'd be afraid if I was in that building. And if there's another one, I mean, maybe we need to start doing that with some of these that we know are like that. I don't know.
I believe Bruce has been in that unit.
But, I'd be scared if I was living in that building, that's for sure.
Don't be scared. It'll be okay. Barb,
Yeah.
Barbara Jacks, 9540 Green Cypress Lane. Were you really serious about moving that dumpster over to near the dog park?
that's not your original question.
Well, it is. Number one, we become the dump site over there.
As we've discussed about those two areas, relocating and eliminating will give us more parking around here for activities that will remove the ugliness from here. And I was just saying that because I know you have
To
a
get
warm
me
spot
going.
for that doggy park over there. But there is adequate space closer to the maintenance building itself. So when we do something, we'll look at all the different avenues that we have for placement of that. If you're driving over to put cardboard in there, which is typically the case now, or you're recycling, again, you're driving over there. So to me, there's not much difference to driving over to a different location.
Well, you're coming to the clubhouse, so it would be wonderful to have it closer to the clubhouse. And I'm gonna state, we are the redheaded stepchildren of Pine Ridge.
It's like, wouldn't it be wonderful having a beautiful view of it?
Well, first of all, it took
I know
2
that's what you're
weeks,
probably
it took over 2 weeks and many phone calls and many complaints to get Doopy to remove the tree trimmings from a parking space right outside my building. First of all, they left it in my parking space, and I called, and the solution was to move it to a guest parking space.
I moved that when we were getting ready to paint those spots, so.
But what I'm saying, it took over 2 weeks to get rid of it. Second thing is, it's a mess outside that shed, the work shed. There's piles of crap there, trees are dead.
We discussed that last meeting.
I wasn't here, so
Yeah,
I'm
that
just
last
saying,
meeting.
okay. Plus, they did a wonderful job trimming around the community, but they took so much off by where that wall is that prevents all the noise from I-75. If you go over there, you're gonna see a tree it looks like just a stump, but it's awful. So anyway, but thank you for the tree trimming. Number two, the 20% increase, I know that the insurance is an issue. Is there a way you could review the policy and see what things could maybe be cut back as far as deductible goes?
Yes, we've done all the diligence.
Okay.
on
Because I'm
that.
saying we're not getting very much money back from what we've been paying out for the damage we had here.
Well, we don't know yet what's gonna happen.
It's almost a year, we should know something.
Can't get it.
There's a lot of, I mean, it's, a lot of people in a lot worse shape than us, but.
Yeah, and a lot of individuals don't have the answers for themselves either.
Yeah, I know.
And it has not been a year since he completed his review on the grounds here. I personally don't know what he did after he left here, but
We went right up through January doing inspections.
Yeah.
Well,
I
again,
mean, no excuses.
I
I
just
think
wish
it's
that
better to us.
we would pay as much attention to Green Cypress by the dog park as we do every place else in the community. Because there's big trucks, there's equipment, there's dumps, everything is there.
That's,
Thank you.
you notice that parking area is very large there, and that's part of the reason for that, is for emergency situations. We have trees down or something like that, it gives us a place to locate those items until they can be removed.
And that is fine, but Eric, you
And-
know, I
well, and I know
complained about a truck that
we
had
had a
been
truck
abandoned there.
We had a truck that I think they were waiting for a part, the truck had broken down and we put it there. You know, we're all one community here, and I say we, and like, so before the hurricane, when I had to pay, I said, Bob, bring your trucks, park them there before the hurricane, so they're already there, you know? And we're first on the list. That's a nice thing for him to do, so we can make sure. So sometimes you do a favor back, and I know you didn't like looking at your window at it, and I'm sorry for that, but they were waiting for parts to fix the truck. You know, I'm sure they would have rather been,
That's the third different story you told me about the truck.
I don't know.
The first story was you fired the guy. The second story was,
I fired the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, he was hiding the truck, it wasn't broken, I'm sorry.
okay,
He was hiding the truck from an employee he fired, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm not telling you different stories, I'm just, I don't own to pay tree service like this, yeah.
He's older today, you gotta get him. He's
Okay, I
forgetting.
get it. A year older, you know, a few more brain cells
People
die.
do you favors, you pay them back, I could pay them back by parking the truck for 3 weeks, so that way they can catch this guy, that guy, and get him out of here.
Motion full body.
Can I make a motion?
Okay, remember Romeo's Meat tomorrow, 1 PM. Frog Legs is on the menu. Do we have a motion to close this meeting?
I'd like to make a motion to close the meeting.
Do we have a second?
So,
All in favor?
Thank you.
Meeting closed.
Hey, Aaron,
Take cupcakes home.
I already have that. I have a book. Yeah.
I have other stuff too, but if you want.
I actually saw him halfway through. Yeah.